The way it starts when you're first a senator or a member of the House is the most beautiful women you've ever seen in your life start hitting on you at the gym or your favorite barbecue place or at church. They don't care where you go. And pretty soon as a man, you can't say no. And then they say, Senator or Congressman, we're going to release this in the news, your girlfriends and all the rest of it if you don't play ball. Now, that's the good guys. The bad guys get in the upper level clubs because they're willing to do stuff to kids. And it's come out in the news that they get involved with the kids, not because they're even into it, but because that's like the gangster ritual or initiation. You've heard about different black gangs, white gangs, Hispanic gangs. They're all the same. You got to kill an old lady. You got to kill somebody. You got to rob a liquor store and shoot the clerk. Well, to get into the upper elite, you gotta want to rape children. We're going to look at all this and more straight ahead with Confessions of a D.C. Madam. I'm Alex Jones. We're going down the rabbit hole. Stay with us. Introducing Secret 12, the new InfoWars Life vitamin B12 formulation. Secret 12 is a binary of nutramedical grade, bioavailable coenzyme forms of B12, methylcobalamin, the same kind used in B12 injections, and adenosylcobalamin. Secret 12 is simply taken by mouth, right on the tongue, and then swallowed. No needles, no injections. Secure your revolutionary Secret 12 formula right now at InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139. Alex Jones here. For the last 2 years, I've been working with top doctors, nutritionists, and chemists to design a nutraceutical formulation that has truly life-changing health benefits. Introducing the all-new Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Blend. Experience the benefits of combining over 14 ancient herbs and extracts with exciting new advances in nutraceutical science. Visit InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139. That's InfoWarsLife.com. Aging starts at the cellular level. When cells become toxic, they die early and aging sets in. In the past decade, we have witnessed unparalleled scientific discoveries. During that period, key patented compounds have focused on mitochondrial growth, nerve growth, and rejuvenation. But no one has put together a formula that focuses directly on brain health, nerve growth factors, and optimizing your cellular energy at the same time. We now have the synergistic solution, DNA Force, just one of the key compounds. BioPQQ is backed by major clinical studies and over 175 PubMed-listed published studies. You want the best that's out there at the lowest price anywhere? The ultimate value, cutting-edge, trailblazing game changer that also supports the InfoWar. Secure your DNA Force today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. DNA Force from InfoWars Life. Hi, I'm Alex Jones. When I got on air 20 years ago, I weighed 180 pounds. I lifted weights 5 days a week. I could swim 2-3 miles. Then I discovered the New World Order, the globalists, their agenda. I started an Access television show. I was so dedicated to my work and hanging around with radio guys that I began drinking. I began smoking cigars and then even cigarettes. I transformed from looking like a white Bruce Lee to looking like a Jabba the Hutt. So I began a journey 5 years ago to shed the almost 100 pounds. I started taking Super Male Vitality and saw dramatic results in just a few weeks. When I added to the mix the key products developed by Dr. Group for InfoWarsLife.com, the results were incredible. Take the InfoWarsLife.com challenge today at InfoWarsLife.com or give our crew a call. They can answer all your questions or tell you about any of the specials at 888-253-3139. For all of recorded history, civilizations around the world praised the health benefits of silver. At InfoWars Life, our mission is to bring you the highest quality, purest, cleanest, effective colloidal silver on the market today for the lowest price available. You don't have to be a doctor to know. The fall and winter months are the most dangerous time of year in North America when it comes to you and your family's health. InfoWarsLife.com is very excited to announce our biggest run yet of Silver Bullet colloidal silver, exclusively available at InfoWarsLife.com. Now, InfoWarsLife.com has taken colloidal silver to the next level using a cutting-edge technique that is free of toxic artificial additives. Now more than ever, it's important to stock up on high-quality Silver Bullet from InfoWarsLife.com. No survival chest is complete without Silver Bullet. Secure your silver bullet today at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. Silver Bullet.
You're listening to The Alex Jones Show. Waging war on corruption. It's Alex Jones.
It's the time of the season when love runs high. In this time, give it to me easy.
I'm not going to go over their bios for you, but I'm aware of the work of both individuals. The book is excellent. We're not selling it. You can find it online or Amazon.com. Confessions of a D.C. Madam, The Politics of Sex, Lies, and Blackmail. Henry W. Vinson with Nick Bryant. And now for the rest of the hour, I really want to try to give these guys the floor, because if I start asking questions, we're going to go down some rabbit trails. Henry Vinson was a male madam over a major gay escort operation that's on record in D.C. And from what I've seen, that's more popular in D.C. from the news we followed than the other way. And then, of course, Nick Bryant has written on the Franklin cover-up and other major issues that we're well-versed on here. The blog is blog.com, confessionsofadcmadam.com. The book is Confessions of a DC Madam. If you want to know why Washington is so controlled and why it's so corrupt, it's blackmail. And you can't even get into the club unless they think you're blackmailable. And this gets into, in the case of the Franklin cover-up, underage, you name it. I interviewed Deborah Jean Palfrey before she died. The famous D.C. Madam. They obviously murdered her. Her death note, suicide note, wasn't even in her handwriting. I had her condo manager that she owned, friends, send me her lease, her handwriting. I had the Florida State Police calling me about it. I mean, this was a big deal when it happened. I was on Fox News, CNN, you name it. So my point is, we've studied this. And this is how they're controlling people. So who should start first here? Henry Vinson to give us the overview as a former gay madam, or Nick Bryant to give us some of the larger picture. Where should we start, gentlemen?
Let Henry start with the overview.
Yeah, Henry, for the rest of this 6, 7, 8 minutes in this segment, break down why this is important and what you cover in the book and why folks should investigate it.
Well, I ran the largest gay escort service that's ever been exposed in Washington, D.C., and my ultimate downfall was precipitated by the fact that I provided escorts to a CIA asset named Craig Spence, who used my escorts to blackmail politicians and other power brokers. I ultimately became the fall guy for a sprawling conspiracy whose cover-up was engineered at the pinnacle of the Bush-1 administration. And I haven't told my story, and this is the first time I told it, but I've undergone a 25-year character assassination by the media. And I believe the American political system has become a wayward aberration of the ideas it was built upon. And I believe that blackmail has played an integral role in hijacking our political system. And that's my reasons for writing the book, and that's basically what it's about. And in my experience, blackmail played an integral role in the American political process. But blackmailers and their blackmail targets would never divulge such misconduct for the obvious reasons. Blackmailers would be subjected to criminal prosecution, and their blackmail targets would be subjected to either persecution or prosecution for the conduct that led them to be blackmailed in the first place.
So it's WMD, it's mutually assured destruction, MAD.
That's right. Political blackmail is almost never made public, and if it does become public, it's usually years after the fact. Just look at J. Edgar Hoover, for example.
Amazing. Please break it down.
And I think that Larry Craig is an example of a congressman who was possibly compromised. Craig was in D.C. for nearly 30 years as a U.S. representative and a senator, and given Craig's status as a conservative Republican, if word of his shadow life leaked out, it would result in political suicide and public disgrace. But his runaway libido compelled him to take mind-boggling risks. And I find it impossible to believe that Craig's homosexual exploits were unnoticed by the blackmail ring that I provided with escorts, because I provided Craig with escorts, and the ring was well aware of all my patrons. And I'm also of the belief that the foremost explanation that can be offered concerning Craig's brazen exploits with regards to his homosexuality is that he was compromised and was mindful that his brazen exploits would be covered up. So I think that it's much more prevalent, blackmail, than what many people believe.
Let me ask you this question, just because it's interesting to understand the mindset. Do Republicans like more gay escorts or female escorts, or is it Democrats? Because I've always been told, for whatever reason, Republicans are more into men than the Democrats, or is that not true?
Well, I operated an escort service during the Bush 1 and the Reagan administration, so they certainly did. They were a lot of my clients, so I think that the Republicans do use a lot of gay escorts.
Well, I remember the Washington Times doing a cover page series of articles about the underage callboy ring busted at the Bush Senior White House and how that almost brought down the administration. I wonder how you'd get an ultra-right-wing publication like the Washington Times ready to report on something like that.
Well, the media covered this up quite a bit, and that's a rather complex answer as to why that happened, and I think that it has to do with CIA infiltrating the media, because 90% of the media is controlled by 5 major corporations.
And if you're a new listener, we'll put it back on screen. We found the Washington Times headline, actual scan, homosexual prostitution inquiry ensnares VIPs with Reagan Bush. And then it's got copies of the receipts. What would be going on at the White House with underage callboys being delivered there?
Well, Craig Spence was a very big lobbyist. He was a pretty powerful person. He was a real mover and shaker. And he had my escorts actually have tours of the White House. He was so powerful that he could arrange the midnight tours of the White House for escorts that I employed.
So you were involved with that?
Yes, I was. Craig Spence was my biggest client, spent about $20,000 a month. He had these beautiful parties at his house that would look like a who's who of Washington, D.C. There would be power brokers, lawmakers, government officials, media people. It would truly look like a who's who of Washington. And, of course, his house was set up for blackmail. There were two-way mirrors. It was audio taped, video taped. So that's how Craig was able to have such influence and was such a successful lobbyist.
And get into the Central Intelligence Agency connection there. Can you speak to that?
Sure. Craig was a CIA asset, and one of the clients that, as I name in my book, was William Casey, and he was the director of the CIA. He was a very good friend of Craig Spence, and he would be at these parties. So it was a pretty interesting place.
Well, again, I don't just go off your book. I've got mainstream news articles about it listing your name. And so we know that at least much of what you're saying is true. We know this is going on, but I want to get from you when we come back. Folks should get the book, Confessions of a D.C. Madam. You have a lot of courage to put it out with Nick Bryant. I want to get from you, how widespread is it? We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Did you know that only 6 corporations control 90% of what millions of Americans see, hear, and read every single day? It's the illusion of choice. Think about it. The mainstream media is owned by only a handful of megacorporations with vested interests. But on the other hand, The internet is an interconnected network of billions of sources. So you can research information for yourself from multiple sources, or you can blindly accept what you hear or read in the mainstream media, never questioning what you are being told. This gives you a false sense of reality. I mean, do you actually know what you think you know? Or have you been programmed to accept someone else's version of events? Think about it. This is Darren McBreen, and I want